Welcome everyone to my third tier list. Today we're just going to be going over the patch notes real quick, and then various few new comps, a few old ones. This is a tier list, but I don't have quite a specific order right now because there's quite a good few comps right now and riders, like you can see in the photo right there. You know, they're not uncontested number one, so let's jump into it. So first we have the patch notes right here. So briefly, Sorcerer is getting just a little bit of a nerf. It's only for 3 Sorcerers, so this is only going to affect the hybrid comps. It doesn't actually affect your 6 human, 6 Sorcerer comp, which we'll get into. It's very strong now. 3 Warriors got a buff, so this is like a very good early synergy now. 2 Riders actually got buffed, so early game Riders got a nice little buff there, 5% extra chance of hitting it. The 4 Rider and 6 Rider both got nerfed a little bit. Nothing too substantial, but it's nice, you know. It's a good thing they got hit a little bit. Goblins got completely buffed. They're basically better than Beast now early, and they give bonus attack speed to themselves. This is really good. You're gonna see like Goblin Warriors a little more. Just Goblins in general are good early game now. Humans got nerfed a little bit from 5 mana per second to 3 mana per second. That's actually significant, you know, for the 2 human buff. It's definitely not amazing anymore. Almost, you know, a 50% nerf, but it's fine. Berserker got a nice buff to his passive where he keeps half of the stacks. I think he has like 12 stacks or so he'll keep 6 of them when he changes targets. That's like really strong. But this is the big change right here, guys. General Puffer, his ultimate now deals damage and reduces their armor and hits another target. So like General Puffer now is just, you're buying him like anytime you see him. So not only is General Puffer buffed, but Kraken is buffed as well. This is the Oceanborn Hunter, the epic one. So she's now doing, she only does her little shot thing for 4 seconds, but that's still fine. And then if they're, like before, if they're effective for 2 seconds, now they have an 80, 90, or 100% chance. So basically you're like definitely stunning them now, whereas in the past it wasn't definitely stunning them. And then they're also receiving damage just by getting hit by the ult. So she's very strong now. Also her minimum and maximum attack got increased, so just all around like a good unit now, or maybe even a great unit. Forest Breath is the elf hunter. I'm pretty sure that her charge time was longer than 0.5 seconds, so this is definitely like a nice little buff for her. Siren's max HP was increased. This is actually 8,000. I don't know why it says 6,000. That's just a mistake on my graphic. Her min and max attack damage were both buffed, and you know, like we said, General Puffer and Kraken were also buffed. So these Oceanborn are definitely strong units now. You know, so definitely look to see them a little more often. We have our unique tier list. You know, we have a Witch Doctor up here. You're just buying him for money. Him, I don't really know the gender. Anyways, I guess we'll just call it. So the Templar Knight's still a good unit, especially because you're probably gonna just be putting 2 Riders in a lot of your comps now. So Templar Knight's, you know, definitely one of your go-tos. Got Sword Dancer, still like one of the best units in the game. There's Siren now. Siren's on this list, just because of the General Puffer, to be honest, because you'll have the General Puffer usually, so putting in the Siren is gonna give you a team-wide buff, and she's pretty strong now. So Kraken I haven't done enough testing with, but probably also on this list now as well. General of War, of course, is still here, and with the recent changes from the last patch, you definitely don't build him tier 3, it's almost not worth it. Obviously, like, you know, if you don't have space, it's fine. Warlocks are still very OP. You can buy any of the Warlocks, to be honest, but either of these comps will just fit in, either of these units will just fit in any comp. Misfortune is like your go-to 10th unit in every comp, because she basically gives you a Warlock buff herself with her ultimate. She heals the team, and she's undead, so you get the undead buff. And as per usual, you're always buying that Bruiser, just literally the best unit in the game. So we're gonna start with we'll start with Human Sorcerer. So technically, this is now basically one of the best builds in the game. It's not as hard as I said in the last tier list. I actually updated my graphic here. I didn't have Dragoon in it, and I was going off my list here. So you only have to have 6 out of the 7 humans. It's especially strong right now because warriors are very meta. So you can run through warriors with the human buff, because your Lightbringer, your General of War, Flamecaller will all double ult, and it's just extremely strong. You need to know how to corner your pieces, so like, you know, imagine this is a corner of the webcam, you know, so your mages are all going to be right here, and then you're going to have like a front line right here, that's just blocking your units, and that way your all your ults too will all go like, oops, you know, like in this direction towards everyone. You want to pick up the Frost Lotus, the Flamecaller, and the Lightbringer for sure in this comp, and then basically any of the units are good except Totem Face. Totem Face isn't even terrible, it's just not great. The Dragoon and the Templar, very strong units in this build. If you're able to get, you know, these two riders together, you have like an insane front line. If you got General of War and Werewolf, you know, getting that third warrior buff as well, especially if you can get the 2 rider buff, is just insane. But you know, you're pretty much choosing one or the other. You're either gonna go 2 riders or, you know, 2 warriors. Basically just extremely strong build, and you're gonna have more of a chance to run it now, I believe, because of all the warriors in the meta. Next, unfortunately, like, I'd like to tell you guys that riders are gone, but you know, they're still good. The other thing is they buffed the early game for riders too, which is one of its drawbacks. You have the Hunter synergy, which is pretty strong now. Hunter Rider, the Famine and the Famine and the Calamity are going to get you like a juicy little undead buff. The Hog Rider is giving you a Hunter buff as well, so you're able to put like possibly 3 Hunters, 6 Riders, 2 Warlocks, you know, which is extremely strong. Shrakaka is really a bait. I just want to say that, like, even though this isn't in the Hunter section, but like, he's not good unless you have him 2-star, which like requires you to have 2 units on the board that aren't. But basically any of these units, you really don't need Shrakaka in this comp too, because you have such a front line with your riders. Let's see what else. So we have Punisher Rider. So strong. Like I mentioned Punisher, like Punisher has its own ride, but I still mention it here because it's so good. Of course, you need to find the Nightingale and the Devourer early. Very strong comp. You can even put the Warlock in here technically with the Punishers. It's pretty crazy, but these Punishers are really strong. But Riders are still, you know, Riders are consistent. That's the thing. So we have Punishers now. We'll go over this real quick. Again, the Punishers are just extremely strong, right? Turn on the music a little bit. You're not gonna really go for the, if you don't find the Nightingale early, you're definitely gonna look to you're not really looking for the Punishers then. But if you have the Nightingale, you get a Devourer early, then you start investing in your in your demons, but don't start buying multiple demons until you get your Devour and your Nightingale, because technically Devour is one of the best demons anyways. So you know, if you don't have Nightingale, you shouldn't really be looking for other demons. So some of the pros, it's really strong early mid game. Once you complete the 4 Punishers, like you still need the 2 demons to make the Punishers really work. They're still good units by themselves, but they get so good once they get that AoE melee damage going on. Seriously, the only con to this build is that like you have to get the Nightingale and the Devourer, which you know, your plan shouldn't be to run Punishers every game, but if you get that Nightingale early, you look for the Devourer and you pivot, you know, around, you know, between rounds 10 and 20, you can start to pivot towards Punishers. If you get them early, you just basically win. I have a lot of synergies down in the bottom here, but basically whichever of the demons you pick up is kind of the build you're going to try and go for. So if you get Nether Prince and the Scourge, you're going to look for Punishers, Warlocks, and Riders. If you get a Warrior, you're going to look for, you know, Punishers and Warriors. Lilith is still a good unit, but surprisingly, like, the other 3 are like so much stronger and they have so much better synergies that you're not looking for Lilith too often. But you know, she can do work, especially if she gets the assassin buff going on. These aren't exactly listed in order, but you know, 4 Punishers, 6 Rider, Warlocks is just crazy. It's harder to get than 6 Human, 6 Sorcerers. That's why I said 6 Human, 6 Sorcerers is like one of the best, even though this is technically the best one. You have 4 or 5 Punishers plus 3 or 6 Warriors plus Warlocks. This is pretty good, pretty easy to do too, because you don't have to go for the full 6 Warriors. You know, it's pretty good. Some of the other builds, like, another reason why Punisher is good is because you can just go, you know, 6 Punishers and just good units. You know, you don't even need to look for an additional synergy because Punishers is so strong. These are just, you know, options to look forward to. What else do we got here? The next one. So this is like the meta build right now. This is gonna get you like you know, pretty like 3rd place very often. You know, possibly contest 1st place if you get like some good hunters and you get your Executioner and General of War up to, or you know, Berserker's actually so crazy right now because of his buff. So pros, very good early game. Like, you're not committing to anything by building, you know, a 3 buff warrior can pretty much be used in just about every comp. You get up to six warriors, you're just looking so juicy, you got a crazy front line. And then 3 hunters is the standard here. If you go 3 warriors and you get 6 hunters, you know, that's still alright, to be honest, because you can get the Firefarer and the King of the Sea or Shrakaka on your front line. Like I said, I don't really like Shrakaka, so like the other 6 are gonna do like a lot more damage. The good thing about, you know, the warriors and hunters is that if you maybe give yourself a little warlock buff as you're getting up the levels, you're gonna hit like a lot of additional synergies like goblin, beast, and undead, and all those synergies, like, they don't have their own page, but they're still strong units. With beast being maybe the least powerful, because it doesn't really turn online until you get 4. Goblin and undead buff, just having that is great. You can also run 2 riders with this 6 warrior, 3 hunters, because the hog rider actually acts as a rider and a hunter, so you're able to get actually an extra, you know, maybe a dragoon, scourge, you know, something to give you, or a calamity, to give you extra synergy, or just do damage, you know, maybe a Templar. See what else we have. The last build, we're kind of adding this in. It's actually pretty decent now. We've kind of figured out how to make cyborgs work. You're basically and like we've talked about before, you have a great early game and then an insane late game. The problem is the bad mid game, and you need to get to level 8, so you can't really like shop for units early. You just gotta level up. but you're gonna stabilize this by picking up assassins. Stinger is like still very strong unit once you get the assassin buff. Stinger by itself is not very good. Sword Dancer, one of the best units in the game. Siren now very strong, you know. And then Bionic Ninja is one of the better cyborgs as well. We're actually missing the Hunter cyborg on this list, and you should still absolutely use him because he's very good. Only real problem is like your friend line is like Steelfish and Ground Smasher, so if you're able to just pick up a few strong units, maybe a warrior synergy, you know, while you're leveling up, you're basically hedging pretty hard, and then you'll look for that legendary cyborg for it to come online. Yeah, I mentioned this here, so your strong units are definitely like, you know, Bionic Ninja of course, but Sword Dancer, Siren, and Stinger are both really strong, but all the assassins are good, to be honest. But don't go for the 6 buff. The 6 buff is not good for assassins right now. You're better to get a front line and complete the full buff for assassins. So that's basically gonna sum up the tier list for today. Maybe one that's missing, I just will say it, is Beasts, but it's kind of running out because of all the warriors. The warriors like live through the beasts, to be honest, with the hunters, so that strategy isn't working as well. So I'll leave you there. Just a real quick update on maybe a quick tier list. What I think is so Punishers is definitely the strongest build, right? We've still got Riders, you know. I'd say Riders are probably tied for second with the six warriors and 3 hunters, and then you're able to run this effectively. It takes some skill though. This is also probably tied for second. Maybe actually is second, and the other ones are third. And then Cyborg Assassin is pretty just easy comp to run. You know, it doesn't require much positioning and is just winning now. Just remember to buy your General Puffer, yo. I will see you guys later. Peace, yo. Oh yeah, but you know, make sure you like and subscribe and stuff. We'll have these videos coming out pretty often every time there's a patch. We also have an item tier list that came out as well. We'll have a video link in the description. I will see you guys next time.